I'm not gonna lie, that one cracked me
That
up.
was it. Staffy, big up, bro. Hope you're
Big
well.
up Staffy, man. Big up Staffy. Yeah, Arsenal
Put the
won,
streak,
Brentford
man.
won. Dude, yeah, end it now. Yeah, that was a stinker, which is why this is probably not going to be a very long match reaction. I'm not going to
Right.
lie to you. Yeah, obviously Arsenal prepping themselves for the away return fixture at the Bernabeu on Wednesday. The lineup showed it, and the way we played showed it. We were not in this match whatsoever. So yeah, Dal, how you doing, bro? Been a long time no talk.
Yeah,
How you
yeah.
doing, bro?
Long time no talk since yesterday. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
are all right. No, just got up a little late, missed the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game, didn't miss much. He completely played the lineup I didn't want him to play when I'm yelling for all the kids and plus Jorginho. He didn't even play the fucking Stepford kid that you wanted, our third string
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
Stepford.
He
Yeah.
didn't play
Well,
none of them.
I
Yeah.
wasn't. Realistically, that was never going to happen. But it is what
Well,
it is.
no, but I mean, if you had half a brain, which I know you do, considering Arteta doesn't, like, play the kids. Like, just pull the kids, whoever it is in the reserves, put them out there on the pitch and say, okay, guys, here's what I want you to do. This is a light bulb, and go out and do it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't see the risk. And then the prick has the audacity to put Saka in and Timber. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like, come on, dude. I mean, we knew he was going to play Waneri. We knew he was going to play Trossard. We knew he was going to play Jorginho. We thought he may play Kiwior. I was
Yeah.
really hoping not to see Saliba there. But then it's like, who else do we got? Well, absolutely no one, because we did fuck all in the transfer window. So I just, Arteta is his own worst enemy, bro. And we suffer because of that. That's 2 draws in a row. Everton and Brentford. You know, I mean, that's
I'm trying to think. Was
4
that our
draw
12th?
points.
It's like was that our 12th or 13th draw?
I would have
12th.
to look and think.
It
And
was
Luca's
12th.
angry. He has a right to be angry. We should have come out and wiped the floor with them today, 3 or 4-0.
Yep.
Like,
No, I
it's
agree.
this is why our tennisexuals don't, I think, understand, bro. This is why we get the ump with this manager, because we do incredible performances one day, and then we come out and we are a bag of shit the next day. And I'm sorry, that was a bag of shit today. Like, couldn't move the ball around. Odegaard, again, I know he came in late in the game, but again, slows everything down. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for Thomas Partey, a great break, which, by the way, David Ray, a phenomenal rollout to Rice for that goal for Partey.
Yeah.
Why can't we see more of that? Do it again. Do it more. Find what works and exploit it. Use it. You know, I just, like, are we trying to find this perfect goal, this ticky-tacky tap-in, 1 yard, 2 yard goal? You know, how many balls did Martinelli put across the face of goal today? At least tried to, with their center back right there on the near post. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it's like we're the kings for a day, and now we're the fucking court jesters now again.
I mean, but was it really that unexpected though? I mean, our league form has been
Yes.
shit. The league in general has
No,
been shit.
it
You're
is
never
unexpected.
going to win. Dal, deep this. We have drawn almost 33% of our
Yep.
matches this season, bro.
Yeah.
33%. You will never ever win a prem drawing that many
Nope.
times unless you're the fucking Invincibles.
Right.
Unless you win the rest of them, you are
Strategically
not
done.
going. Like, literally, I think
Right.
that's what they got at 12 draws in the Invincible season, if I'm not
I think you're
mistaken,
right.
bro.
I think that's the
Yeah,
correct number.
so yeah, like, unless you're winning every other game, it doesn't mean shit. By the way, big up to the 18 people inside. Smash the
Yeah, big up, chat.
share, comment,
You know, guys. Big
subscribe.
up, Matt,
We
all
got
the way
we got
from Canada.
Yeah, and big up Daniel, even though he's here laughing at us. Wissa, big up for the super chat, £5 super chat. We really, really appreciate it. You're making fun of us, but at the same time, you're supporting the channel. So what the hell am I gonna say? Right? What the hell am I gonna say?
Yeah.
Madrid will score. No, I don't think so. Acers, I think you're being too negative, bro. We're way too pragmatic for that.
I'm not
And
so
I
sure
don't.
he is, bro. I've actually, he's shout out Acers. He's put that comment in the show yesterday, and I'm sure I've seen that comment before this week since Tuesday. And I think that he could be onto something. We could be in for a shock Wednesday. If they score,
I don't think
TJ.
You're starting to sound like Tony Claude.
26 years I've been following this
club.
Whataboutism
is crazy.
Will break your heart.
I know. I said
you know this.
I said if anybody is capable of doing it could be us. Yeah, big up Flawless.
But it will right. But that's the thing. I think there needs to be some preparation, like doomsday prepping for what could happen Wednesday. Ancelotti could completely wipe the slate. Big up Yeti. Great streams today,
bro. Yeti, man.
Great streams today.
I'm coming through your
Forest today.
I'm coming through your mic, by the way, Dom.
Okay. How about now?
Still am.
Oh shit. Anyway, yeah. I'm just again worried about consistency. Consistency. That's 2 draws in the league. It's 4 drop points.
Big up, Mitch. Okay, I'm gonna mute you while I go into my thing because I don't know what is going on your side. But
okay, well I'll mute mine real quick.
1 second. Well, yeah.
How does it sound? How does it sound? How does it sound for you guys in the chat?
Yeah, I swear I hear myself. Now I don't because you're muted now. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So moving on. By the way, guys, let me know what you thought about that game in the chat. By the way, we'll respond to any good comments. Obviously, Yeti having a great watch along today. Really enjoyed that. Tuned in for a couple minutes of that as well. Yeah. I mean, we do have better things to go for. I mean, in the lineup was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Sans David Raya, sans Odegaard not starting. I thought Odegaard not starting was a detriment. You need to put Odegaard in there. He needs to find some form. You put Odegaard into the game there, he immediately gets a yellow card, and he didn't look that great. He did, Odegaard you need to get Odegaard into some form. You need to let him grow into his game because, or at least try to find it before the latter stages of the UCL, because I don't think we're going to get out. We're not getting knocked out by Real Madrid. I think we're going to go there. We're going to stink it out. And if we have a chance to hit on the counter, we'll hit them on the counter. The Real Madrid's back line is there to get got at. So I'm really not worried about that. And I'm sure we'll talk way more about that during more preview streams for Arsenal versus Real Madrid. But getting back to this game, Kieran Tierney robbed of a great goal. I thought barely offside, looked great. Great feed in from Ethan Nwaneri. Again, Ethan Nwaneri, I thought, was our best offensive player today. Incredible getting in, stirring shit up in the final third. Looked great. Man of the match, in my opinion, Thomas Partey. He was playing right back, but he was inverting into the midfield. He looked strong as shit there. Saliba, Kiwior, and Tierney playing very, very solid at the back. Obviously, we had to make those substitutes, and they scored. But what are you going to do? You have to make subs at some point. Miles Lewis-Skelly coming in, looking strong. I mean, I just don't think we were actually in this. Yeah, now I can't hear myself. You're perfect. It's good. Yeah, I mean, we had to go in there and we had to make some changes. I mean, Jorginho, mid, as usual, looked slow, went off injured. Zinchenko had moments where he looked like he was dangerous. Here's the thing. The difference between Zinchenko at left back and midfield is actually crazy. He's so much better on the ball when he doesn't have to worry about tracking back. It's actually nuts. Like, that game against PSV, he looked good. Today, he looked all right. But it just shows the levels of some of the managers' decisions over the last 2-3 years, especially with Zinchenko, trying to make him into a left back. He never was, or an inverted midfielder. Right. He never was.
Well, Pep did that. So, remember, Pep did that too. We're not the only ones to play him at left back.
Yeah, but
right? We brought him as a left back because he was playing left back at City.
Well, so Pep at least had the sense to sell him. So,
right. When he realized he was shit and he got what he wanted out of him, right? Like he does all other players. But I mean, Zinchenko, again, he's one of him and Jesus were Arteta's yes men when he took the job, right? He needed a couple of players to come in to convince the rest of the squad that this project was worth buying into, right? Trust the process was the first thing we heard out of his mouth when he took the job. So I kind of get that, right? I mean, I wish his yes man was Kevin De Bruyne right? And Ruben Diaz instead of those two donkeys that we got. I mean, Jesus isn't a donkey. I thought he was phenomenal the first season. But other than that, reality is those two players have been a letdown. They haven't won anything with us. We haven't won anything with them. So at the end of the day, yes, Zinchenko must be sold. Lewis Skelly is our starting left back from here until the indefinite future.
Yep.
And I don't know if Calafiore is the one off the bench to keep, again, that same level, right? And that's right. So again, we're in a situation in our left backs if Zinchenko goes, which he will this summer, the drop off from Skelly to Calafiore could be pretty deep, right? And then it's the same situation we've getting ourselves in with several other positions on the pitch. It's just, it goes to say, again, the bad recruiting, but we got Berta, and hopefully he can find some of those quality players to come off the bench. And again, you've got to find players that want to do that, right? That are willing to do that. And so maybe there's, some research and looking at players that are 28, 29 years old, right? Instead of players that are 23, 24 that want that immediate play time and, will fight for, but the good thing about that age group is they'll fight for a spot, right? A 28 and 29-year-old may cost you more money, to get in and so forth, and maybe a little more wage, but you, number one, will have that experience, and number two, they're willing to come off the bench and play a part, right? And I don't know if you find that much more in these younger players willing to do that. If I got to sit on the bench at Arsenal, I'm just going to go, to fucking Tottenham or Crystal Palace or Everton or Wolves, and I'll play, I consider all four shit, and be a starter, right? And that's why we see good names go to bad teams.
Yeah. My whole thought on the depth issue here is that, number one, I never thought we were going to get out of the gates on this one. I knew this one was going to be a stinky game, especially because, just look at the lineup. These guys never play with each other. These guys are never starting together. The majority of these guys have started together once, and that was against a nothing game against PSV in the return fixture in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Jorginho is past it, so we're looking for another 6. Zinchenko likely leaving, so we're looking for a replacement left back or a possible another midfielder, left-sided 8 type player.
I hope we don't go in for another left back.
Yeah, and I want to say something, and it might be controversial. I didn't think Trossard looked that great today. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
In the middle of the park, he or in the 9, he looks bad. Like, especially when he has to drop deep and make a pass, he just didn't look good at all.
Him.
Like, and I, as much as he could come off the bench and do a job in that role or on the left wing, it's just not that impressive. Like, he's a squad player. We saw that these guys are squad players today, and we saw why.
Right.
Other than when Partey and Rice, I mean, the rest of them were mid, bro. The rest of them were mid.
Yeah.
It's like this is why it's going to be a quick match reactions, because what are you going to say that we haven't already said before? It's going to be a long summer. We're going to be going into a very, very competitive transfer window when we need to fill at least a backfill for at least 4 positions, regardless of who we get back from injury and when they come back from injury. I mean, I didn't want to see Thomas Partey play today, but that's because Ben White is still not healthy.
Right.
So, and you saw Urian Timber come into a game where he absolutely didn't need to be there, and that just shows you the lack of recruitment and the lack of concentration, like you just said, in areas that we need to concentrate on. The head of recruitment is leaving at the end of the season. I don't even know his name. I read an article that he's leaving. I don't give a fuck. I'm glad he's leaving. Get in somebody serious that Berta trusts, so we can go into the market and make a splash. And I'm not necessarily, you sound a lot better now, Dal.
Okay, good. Maybe it's because
and I'm not necessarily saying you need to go out there and sign Gyökeres at every position. That's not what I'm saying. Go out there and find a club signing that is good and can slot into the position. I need more specialists. I don't need a bunch of versatile players that can play at left back and 6, or a left winger that can also be a left wing back or a left back. I need players in specialty positions to go in there and that can come off the bench and make a difference, or even compete to be in the starting 11. I mean, outside in my opinion, outside of Saka, outside of Rice, and outside of the back line, like, the positions are up for grabs, Dow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we were talking about selling Martinelli just 2 or 3 months ago.
Right.
Right.
No, and
keep him on the bench. I would rather have him on the bench
And he's
because there's
looked
still that
better.
level
He's
of
looked
quality that's
better.
there.
And
Yeah,
he's
he's
looked
looked better.
better.
Right,
So,
but it's still not good enough. Like, he should have scored today. He should have scored against Everton. He possibly should have scored against Madrid. I mean, he's the type of player where, would someone like I don't know, I don't put any name in there you want. Griezmann, if we were to grab Griezmann for a 2-year contract, I'm only saying that because of the connections to Berta, right? So let's say we grab Griezmann just out of the blue, and you put him up starting left side. Is Griezmann going to finish those chances too? I'm not so sure. You replace the player, but those opportunities still come through that same position, right? But if the player can't finish it, I mean, look at Vinny. Look at Vinny Jr., right? We completely had him in, he was completely in Timber's pocket. So I think the effort, I still think the effort on the players is there. I think they're still playing for Arteta, which I think earlier this season, there was some doubt in that. And even towards the end of last season, I remember we talked a bit about, maybe the dressing room isn't what it is, right? Maybe the project is really starting to fail. Again, we found ourselves in second place, right? Two times in a row that year. So I'm at the. I think what needs to happen is we need to get the Deadwood out again. The Deadwood is Trossard, it's Zinchenko, it's Jesus. I mean, is Kiwior Deadwood now? I'm not so sure.
He's not.
No, right.
I mean, and here's the thing, and time will tell with Kiwior. I mean, he will be playing for the rest of the season in that position. But at the same time, like, outside of the Champions League, who gives a shit? Nothing is going to change.
Right.
Nottingham Forest lost today.
Right. Yeah, shout out Yeti. That was a heartbreaker of a goal.
No, it was a heartbreaker. Don't get me wrong, it was a heartbreaker, but they still lost. Like, the parity in the league has made it to the point where, like, there are no spoilers. We know who's going down. We pretty much know who's getting top 5.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that is interesting, is that shuffle between Man City, Chelsea, and Newcastle.
Oh, within like a point or two, right? Yeah, that is a race. Yeah, that is a good race to watch, right? So that's why it might be worth watching maybe some of those opposition games, just to see what happens. Hey.
Hey, Bader, I'm going to go over to Kansas and see what the odds are on a Real Madrid comeback.
I mean, like Acer said, man, if they poke 2 goals in real quick or there's a penalty, Kiwior is ripe for a penalty. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
He's ripe for a penalty, bro. And it just, again, it has to be mistake-free. But that crowd is going to be all white, bro. All white. And I don't mean that in a racial way. Obviously, I mean that in a fucking Real Madrid shirt way. It's going to be signs, and it's going to be noisy, and it's going to be like nothing some of these guys have ever faced. And it's going to be hostile, but those Madrista fans believe they're going to beat us 4-0. I don't
think all of them. I don't think all of them.
No, okay.
I think there's a good amount. I mean, I was watching.
Our friend Dave would disagree.
I was watching in the stream, Dave. Holy shit, that guy! I was afraid somebody needed to give that guy an ambulance outside of the Emirates. I thought he was going to have a heart attack, bro. Right. I was genuinely worried about him. I was like, oh my god,
that was a breakdown. But it's a whole different. Like they said, you've said it 100 times. It's a different thing at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, no, and I don't disagree with you, but I just think we can go in so much more, not relaxed, but knowing that we have a cushion. That being said, I think they're going to play them. I mean, I just think, and I think that was a lot that showed a lot in the results today. Like, I'm looking at the sofa score and the stats here. Like, we really didn't show much impetus. We didn't even have a full XG there. We had 14 shots. How many of those were actually on target, though? That's my question. 14 total shots and
4?
two goalkeeper saves. So like
it was a dead game.
It was a dead game anyway.
Right.
Like,
and Brentford are just floating in the bottom 10, right? I mean, they're safe from relegation.
They're 12, 13. But again, like, this is what I can't stand about it, and I'm not trying to get off on a tangent here, but this has been some of the these are the worst class of championship teams to come up to the Premier League, I think, in Premier League history. Like, you got Southampton competing with Derby for the worst ever, and then you have Ipswich Town and Leicester putting in one of the worst performances in the next two positions. And then we get to freaking deal with Leeds coming back up and going back down again. Like, the system is broken. I'm dead serious. Like, and then people are like gassing up. Oh man, like, what if Millwall comes up? I'm like, yeah, that would be good for the match day vibes, but they'll go right back down. Like,
that happens though. I mean, but oh man, I think coming up from the Championship to the Premier League is a massive, massive honor and upgrade. Big up Darcy,
of course,
right? It's massive. They get millions of dollars, TV revenue, et cetera. They get millions to go down. They get millions coming up.
Dude.
Yeah, but then you got to look at, like, I remember when Leicester City came up, right? And then they were like basically fought relegation one season and won the title the next, bro. That's what makes, in Ipswich, if they beat Chelsea twice this season, that's big for their club, even if they are going down.
Yeah. Big up Haji Wright. Yeah, I'm in for Coventry as well. Big up Haji Wright. Sorry.
Yeah, I just want someone to buy Gorkris when you start building. Yeah, right. I don't know. I think it's fair, man. I think it's fair. If you do good in the championship and you can get to the playoffs or get that first place, second place spot, it's all better. And we've seen random teams do it. I remember watching the Prem with Blackburn and Bolton in it.
Yeah.
Derby County. Remember Newcastle got relegated, I think, in 2018.
Yep.
Right. So, I mean,
yeah, and they were fighting it the year before they almost
right.
The year before they got bought. Yeah. So it's going to be Leeds, Leeds and Burnley are coming up. Oh my days. Yeah.
It's like Burnley, ducks in a bucket.
But to Burnley's credit, they've only conceded 13 goals this season.
That's pretty incredible.
I was listening to a podcast. I couldn't believe that. 13 goals all season. So maybe they'll actually be able to defend in the Prem. We'll see. But
the bottom half of the championship is pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And then who do you got? You got Sheffield United, Sunderland, Bristol City, Coventry, West Brom, Middlesbrough, and Millwall in a shout to be in the playoff.
Wow. Okay.
So
more exciting than what we're doing in the league.
Yep. Okay. Big up Don. You saw him. He says, I'm not worried about Forest. I'm not worried about Everton. I'm not worried about Brentford. Are you going to start worrying? What am I worrying about? I'm not worrying about anything. In terms of the league, you saw him. The league is done. Like, you might as well just lock in the positions 1 through 3 now. It is what it is. We're not going to drop too many points. I mean, and look, we still have some easy fixtures. Again, I'm not worried about dropping out a second. People need to relax. People need to relax.
I don't know, Don.
Am I worried about Madrid? No, I'm not worried about Madrid.
I am slightly. I think that atmosphere may be a bit much, and I can see us conceding an early goal.
Yeah,
and that would turn the tide. But they still have to score 4 to win. I don't think they'll score 4, but I could see them. I could see them almost scoring 3 and putting it to pen.
Here's the thing. I have a question for Don. If Madrid do beat us like 4-3 and like a miracle happens, are you going to take back everything you said and your apology tour that you just went on this week? Are you going to take everything back? You fraud. You know what? If he says one more thing, I'm going to play the clip. I swear to God, I'm going to play with.
Oh my God! He's just asking for fearful Madrid. You say no, and I say I slightly am. I slightly am.
Bro, no way. No way. Nothing's going to happen.
In the 35th minute, my friend.
No, it's not going to happen.
Well, I'm telling you. We do not have a Thierry Henry that can run half the length of the pitch and go around David Beckham.
Dude, I want to know. You know what? While you're talking about that, I want to know. I'm telling you, I want to know what the odds are. I want to know what they're giving him. Yeah, play it. Release the tapes. No, because beating Madrid. Yeah. Okay. All right. You know what? Just for that comment, I'm not going to say it.
Was fantastic too. I played the whole reaction for the family to see on the living room television. Oh yeah, my kids, my wife, they love the fan reactions.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I live for around here. Are the fan reactions here? Oh my god, no, I gotta figure that
True,
out. I
Michael.
wonder if they.
It's been
I wonder.
pretty horrific. You got to figure 2 draws in a row. Everton, Brentford. Yeah, fucking done, bro. Just done.
Yeah.
And it goes to say, Michael, like where's the consistency? You would think you would get the momentum and the high off of beating Madrid 3-0 and be like, bring on whoever steps in our lair. And we are going to be like gladiator lions and eat them for breakfast. But no, we had to play a bit reserved, move the ball around, take extra touches, pass it back, pass it sideways, make a few good runs, get 14 shots, which is fantastic. But I mean, Michael, this is just, the consistency. We should have beat them today 3 or 4-0.
Yep, we should have. Arsenal are at
No
minus
man's
900 to go through. Madrid to
right.
go through is plus 500. So go out there and put a little chinky tenner on there. You can get you can get $50 if you throw it out there. I'm just saying. But no, I was curious about that because I wondered what the odds were. But they're giving
I
them
don't know if
500.
Hussam
That's
is a
crazy.
gambling man or not.
No, I don't think he's a
think
gambling
so.
man. But I wanted to see where the
those,
bookies were at.
Yeah,
on
for
that.
sure.
But yeah, no, just to kind of put a bow on things, it's been a shit year. It's been a disappointing season for Arsenal. I think despite the result on Tuesday, that's one of the few bright spots we've seen this season. You can look, like, I can go back and you can look at the PSV result. You can look at the PSG game earlier in the season.
Sporting
You
Lisbon,
can look at the Nottingham
5-1.
Yep, Sporting Lisbon 5-1. You can look at the Man City, right? You look at the Man City results that we got this season. I mean, obviously we drew against them, but we were down to 10 men. I mean, you could look. There are bright spots.
And then we crushed them.
The Man City 5-2. Like there are some bright spots, but in terms of just overall performance and consistent results, nothing. Nothing to write home about. So that's why we're all hanging our hats on this Real Madrid thing. And I've heard this said before, and I completely agree with it. If we don't win the Champions League, it's just going to be one of those, hey, remember when that happened? And then we went out. Like, where you and I are going to be talking about this time next year, and nobody's going to give a shit.
Well, yeah, we're not going to give a shit, right? Because the chat base who aren't Arsenal fans will have moved on, right? And it will be a blip in their map, but I'm still going to remember that match probably for the rest of my life, right? But if there's nothing gained from it, right? If this manager again fails to get over the line, I've said it before, I said it again, he would have to go. But he's not going to go. I even think if we don't even get into the final, he's not going to go. Because they've already out, he's already, from what I've heard, and working with Berta, like there's this made up conspiracy that Arteta, he didn't speak about Berta, so they must not like each other. No, Arteta knew there was a sporting director coming in. Arteta knew that because there was a sporting director before him, right? This is the way football operates. It's the way Arsenal have operated for many years. You have a sporting director, a manager, and a board and ownership and so forth. It's great that we were able to find someone, number one, who wasn't fucking Thomas Rosicky, right? And number two, wasn't Patrick Vieira, and someone who wore the Arsenal shirt, right? So we have a complete outsider now that knows world football, that's going to come in and enhance the squad. That's really what we want, right? At the end of the day, we want a better squad, regardless of who the freaking manager is.
Yeah.
Right? The manager is just there to serve a purpose like the players are, but it's the club that remains. So it's the sporting director that really can take the strategy and the focus, to the stratosphere, right? He will do things the managers aren't allowed or able to do. Now, different teams have different makeups, right, of their structures, their organizational board, but from the core, this Berta signing is for the future. This is fantastic, and this will put somewhat of a critical voice in Arteta's ear to maybe look at this player differently, look at moving this player maybe to the right position, right? Maybe we don't need so many left backs, blah, 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 right? So I think Bert is going to bring more of a balance to what Arteta is really trying to do. And again, I don't hate Arteta. I hate the way he manages games and manages players. I really do. And today's just a prime example. Everton last week, the week before was a prime example. But then what happens? He blows our fucking socks off on Tuesday.
This is going to sound like I'm defending Arteta, and I'm not, but with these players, like, what the fuck do you expect?
Like, with Jorginho, like, and those guys went right.
And I blame him and the recruitment for the fact that we had to watch that dross today, which is why, like, this transfer window, and we said it the last two windows, but we're going to say it again. The next transfer window is the most important. We need to get the dross out. We need to get some quality depth in that can actually execute. Like, if we're going to continue with this manager, it is what it is. There's nothing you and I can do about it. But if we are going to continue with him, give him the quality that it takes to get it over the line. Despite injuries. Yeah, get a striker in. Despite injuries. Because we do have pieces of this squad that are Premier League capable of winning the Premier League. Like, it's not we've seen it before. We've seen it the last 2-3 years. We are capable of doing it. It's just we are just this close off of the line. But again, and we're going to talk about this a ton. I don't want to beat it dead. I don't want to beat it dead. I know it's his decisions. It's his decisions, but it's also like there's also player decisions. I mean, he wasn't out there making Kai Havertz miss an open goal against Man fucking United.
Odegaard to run the opposite direction when you're on a counterattack, right? Dude, or run away from the ball. I get that. I get all that. You're right. And those are, I think, when we highlight the season at the end of the season, when we do our show and talk about that, I think that's a main topic. It's not Odegaard, but just how the players react to his instructions. Because Declan Rice went against the instructions, and look what happened.
Yep. No, exactly right. And look, that we've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
About how the manager and his coaching staff control every bit of what players do in their system. If Declan Rice had missed that, do you think he would be taking free kicks? I don't think he would. Because he went, because this was lightning striking. I don't think you see Declan Rice doing that again.
I do.
Like that.
I think he's capable.
He's obviously Dal, hold on.
Okay.
He's shown that he's capable. Don't get me wrong. Right. But as soon as he misses, they're gonna go back to some old system. He's not gonna nail every single one of them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. He's not gonna nail every one of them.
That's been my biggest complaint with Arteta is a lot of the times, and this is the Pep syndrome. The system gets ahead of player creativity.
Right, and expression.
And them being able, like, R.I.P. Jack Grealish's career because of that. He looked at Aston Villa. He was creative. He made things happen by himself. But as soon as he gets into a system, and don't get me wrong, I think he's a phenomenal footballer. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But he's just the system will limit players, and in some instances, you need to give these players latitude to create moments. And that's what everybody talks about, the big word, moments.
True.
You can't create a ton of moments in a system if you don't let the players have some sort of autonomy. That's all I'm saying.
I agree 1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And I told you big up Hashem, but you did tell us. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big up, Scott. Hope you're well, buddy.
Big up, Scott. Hope things are good up there in the Great White North. We are going to go ahead and wrap it up, people, because I got more work to do around here. But yeah, we will be live next. I'll be live tonight with Don C and Tony Claude Gunner, and of course that criminal Flawless for the Arsenal Man United show over on Sarcasm City TV.
What time is that today? At my time, would that be?
Yeah, for your time, that is 2:30. 2:30.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be going live at 2:30. Who is live that we like? Do we like anybody that's live right now?
Gunner might be live.
DG's live. We'll go over to DG. Big up DG every single time. Big up DG.
Yeah, we gotta get him on, bro. Yeah, we gotta make the contacts with Diluted Gunner.
I have
Maddie
Maddie knows him. We might be able to talk to him through Maddie. But guys, yeah, big up everybody that watched. Smash the like, smash the sub if you're new. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. We had 22 likes. Like the video if you're watching it on playback. Comment. Quickly. We subscribe to every comment as well. Go ahead, Dal.
Quickly, who was your man of the match?
Thomas Partey.
Same here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy
peasy, lemon squeezy. Good night, people. We will see you next time.
You're not God. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, Connor. You don't have the answers. Let's just say that. You don't have the answers.